What's up, everybody? Stacking Surfer here. I've got my good friend OC Stacker on with us today. Sorry, we're starting a little bit later. We're having some technical issues to try to get his camera working to show some planes, unfortunately. So we're going to have a black screen. That's what we're going to do on this live stream. But what I wanted to do is share with you guys today what we did at the Long Beach Coin Show. So we had some great opportunities at the coin show. We basically never had time to sit down. And what I wanted to do is take your guys' questions. If you guys have ever been to a coin show, have you ever considered getting your own booth at a coin show? I'd love to answer any questions you guys have around that and kind of talk about our process of what we did and how we got all that set up. So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today. And in the meantime, I'm going to be helping OC get his stuff in order too. And we're going to get some better camera set up for him, as well as some icons. So down the road, you guys will be able to see some more things coming with him too. We're doing some fun things around technology. And anyway, we're going to up level stuff. So first off, OC, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, brother. Enjoying this beautiful day.
Good. Yeah, it is a beautiful day. I haven't even really been outside today yet, and it's 75 degrees. Looks really nice out there from the windows, at least.
So 72 to 76 are the perfect temperatures to hang out in California and not be sweaty and all that kind of fun stuff. You can go out and enjoy the day, cool breeze.
For sure. So a couple things I want to share with people real fast as we get started. Check this out. This is pretty cool. So how many of you guys have one of these? So this is a sterling silver spoon. And this came from Chef Stacker LA. I actually shared a whole bunch of totes with him. He was moving. And he sent this as a thank you, which was pretty awesome. So we met up at the show there, which is pretty cool. And I don't know if you can see it totally detailed there, but that's a San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. And anyway, that's awesome. So community, guys, community helps you get stuff. And then we did this with Scrooge. He created this. What is his actual handle, OC? Is it Mixed Scrooge?
I think it's just, it's been a while since I've seen him online, but I'm pretty sure it's Scrooge.
But he's cool leather holder here. Yeah, so Chef put it down on there for us. And then if you guys want to put your links down, that's totally cool too. But anyway, he created this. We were helping him sell some stuff, but this is basically a coin holder that's made out of leather. So you could put different kinds of silver coins in their rounds, Morgans. You could put a silver eagle in there too. Let's see. I think that'll fit. So you can kind of see how it fits in there at the bottom, which is really cool. All right, so that was a couple things we had. But OC, real quick as I started, I wanted to just shout out everybody that's in here real quick. This is gonna be a little bit of a quicker live stream. We're still trying to get summer schedules nailed down. But Michael Stacking, welcome. Good to have you here. And Niels Hans Dynasty. Crystallized osmium is his game, as well as platinum and silver. He also likes longboards. I like longboards too. And then we've got Mr. and Mrs. West Texas Stacker. Welcome. And Craig Shelby's in the house as well. Thanks, guys, for coming. Living the dream. Hopefully he's still hanging around, but it looks like he wasn't happy we started a few minutes late. That does happen sometimes when you're having some technical difficulties. And we've got Michael Stacking in the house as well. Chef Stacker, OC Stacker's in there. And we've got, let's see, Kenshi, our favorite crypto. He has these, I hear. So he might be talking to us about some Lambos here. Ricky's House of Crap. Awesome.
I laugh every time I see that name.
And then we've got Magic Moon. Welcome. So Kenshi just got a fresh vinyl Bitcoin wrap. You're going to have to send me a picture of that at stackingsurfer@gmail.com, Kenshi. Send me that. I want to see it. Anyway, OC, I was pretty thrilled by what we were able to pull off, and I'm going to pull up some pictures so we can see those instead of just looking at our faces the whole time. I was pretty impressed with what we were able to pull off at the coin show. So I think we were going to be able to do as much as we did do, but we ended up getting a lot done. We ended up basically staying busy the entire time.
Yeah, I was quite honestly quite pleasantly surprised. I've worked at quite a few shows, and that by far outpaced anything I've ever done ever in a coin show. Like I said, we're not kidding when we say that we literally didn't. We got there. I think our biggest problem is we got there right with the doors open. We should have tried to plan to get there a little bit earlier, but I know schedules are just tough to do that. But
yeah, that was my fault. I had busy schedules.
It's all good, brother. I mean, I know your situation, so it's no big deal. But how nice was it to just sit there, and as soon as you get to the booth, you've got 8, 10, 15 people sitting there standing around for the whole time the doors are open. I mean, I couldn't complain one bit. Got to meet a lot of nice of your YouTube followers. It was nice to see Scrooge, Chef Stacker LA. Frank Bonds came down. 9 for 9 Designs came down. I met him. I think it's KNW P77. I forget how his initials go, but he was there. He spent about an hour, 2 hours at our booth, and we got to meet Silver Dragons. That was nice.
It was surprising. I was talking to him for like 2-3 minutes before I realized it was Silver Dragons.
I only knew it by the voice.
Well, a few things with his voice, and then all of a sudden I saw that. So let me see if I can share these pictures. Let's see if I can get these to work. Let's see if we can make this work. Oh. All right, let me try something else here. So OC, one thing I wanted to share with people, tell us a little bit about the process of getting a booth. If someone wanted to get a booth at a coin show, what does that kind of look?
So probably the easiest thing for me to do is take you guys through the first time I did this. So when I sold my dealership 3 years ago, I stayed home for a year, just did all the honeydew projects around the house. After that, I got kind of bored and started pulling out my coin collection and going through it. Then one of my longtime customers passed away, and his wife asked me to help her with the coins and a few other things that he had. So I ended up going to a coin show, got to meet 2 or 3 or 4 of the vendors there, and I said, hey, what's it take to get in here? What is it? Who do you talk to? So went back a second time. The month after, went to another show. It goes between Buena Park and Anaheim. So I went back again. I met the owner and said, hey, what do I have to do? And he said, just call me and, set up a booth. And if I have room for you, I'll make room for you and we'll get you in the show. So I said, okay, great. Found out what the fees are. Turns out I could never get into that show. So there was some, then I discovered there was other shows like Arcadia, Glendale, a few others that weren't as busy or as big as Anaheim or Buena Park. So I actually ended up getting into Arcadia. Well, actually, no. Before I got into Arcadia, I actually did get into Long Beach. And to be quite honest, guys, I just called the people that were putting the shows on. I said, hey, I'm a hobbyist. I want to come out and see if I can sell some of my stuff. And they welcomed me on board. They got me a pretty inexpensive booth. And it just took off from there. You got to know some other vendors. You can weed through the good ones and the bad ones pretty quick. We got hooked up with about 4 or 5, 6 guys that do this, every weekend basically, and became friends with them, and they guided us along. They gave us advice on how to do it, how to get insurance for shows, never go in and out of shows alone, just common sense stuff, And so I think this past Long Beach was my 5th or 6th show, and
talk a little bit about the security of these things.
Okay, so Long Beach, when they do it, they have the Long Beach Police Department outside and private security inside. Inside, I'm going to say they probably have minimum 20 security, if not 25, 30. Okay. And then at night, they lock in, I believe, 10 security guards at Long Beach. Might be more. They told me the numbers a year ago, so I don't remember exactly. And then while working the show, they would come by, so I introduced myself and I got to know a couple of security guards. In fact, while you were talking with somebody, I sold one of the security guards one of your guitars he bought for his son. So he had recognized me from the last couple of shows, and that was kind of nice. So when we're walking in and walking out, they'll look out for us. That's kind of nice. And if we have a lot of stuff, they have people there that'll help us. So there's 2, 3, 4 of us walking out. So it feels very secure. So no problems there. Arcadia, when I did it for the first time, they had 4 security guards, 2 at the front, 2 at the back. And then there's a Saturday, Sunday, and they locked 1 person inside at night at Arcadia. For me, the first time I did it was not a problem. Then obviously we all heard what happened at the last show that they had with the guy breaking in the morning. So
yeah, so I think, if you're doing it, it's probably a good idea to at least look into insurance or take your expensive items with you.
Well, yeah, that's what pushed me to talk to the other vendors and find out what they do, how they coverage it, why they covered theirs, how much did they insure it for? Was it actual value, true value? Me personally, when I do it, I take all my expensive stuff out. I leave my, generic and, sovereign rounds there. I mean, anything that gets stolen hurts, but, as long as my expensive stuff that would really hurt me, I take home with me every night. And I also don't go without a little protection.
What kind of protection do you like to take with you? Lightsabers?
Yeah, and then another one type that emits lightsabers.
Yeah, the blasters, right?
Yeah, and then the only experience I had bad was when you came with me to the last Long Beach show, and we were walking out, and one of the coin guys was out by himself, and he had taken a load out and then walked back in. And then when we were on our way out, the police were out there, and his back of his window was shattered, and someone just did a smash and grab on his car. So my advice to people who are going to do this: find a friend, get a family member, get somebody that that you trust. It's always good power in numbers. Always have one, 2 guys with their heads on a swivel is better than one by himself carrying a heavy load of silver or gold out to their cars. You're, like do what I did, get to know these security guards, and they'll walk you out if you ask them. So that's when I don't have help. I don't think I've ever done that though. I've always been very fortunate. You've been there. Jordan's been there. A couple of friends I've known, other dealers. If I'm there by myself, I'll walk up to another one and say, hey, you want to walk out together, or do you want me to walk you out? Then you want to come back and help me out. But it's always good to go together, because you never want to leave your stuff in a car, come back, because then the people that see you do that, they're just going to do a smash and grab on you. So you always want to walk out together in a team, and walk one person to his car, and the other guy will stand outside his car and watch for you. So that's about that's my experience. And like I said, it's everything for me, thankfully, knock on wood, that I've been very fortunate, and I definitely count my blessings.
Can you guys screen right now? I don't know. It's just not working like it normally does, but let's see. I got to log back into here, see if you guys can see it.
I can see the display case.
I've been having so many issues with my internet this week. So what I wanted to do, kind of going from that. So security is huge, guys. If you're going to a coin show and you're buying stuff, a lot of times people take cash. So it's a good idea to be safe. I always recommend going with at least one other person. When you go home, I wouldn't go straight home. I'd kind of meander around and, go on a little bit of drive. We haven't been followed. We've done several of these. We kind of watch out for it. These are some examples of some cases I'm going to show you guys here of product that people are going to have at a coin show in these cases. So, you got to be alert. You got to be aware when you have things out there. There was a big gold nugget that was stolen worth around $80,000, maybe $85,000. Was in one of the cases like this. But OC, when you look at stuff like this, do you have any recommendation for someone that might be setting up a display?
Well, that case, I laughed as soon as I saw that. So, like you and I had said, we were busy the entire time, and so um, that's a case I set up. That's the one day that you and I drove separately. I got there hour early with my wife, and I basically just threw all the stuff that I poured into another case that we just did not display at all, and I just threw that together like in about 45 minutes. I just threw just different pieces that I've had of just all. I mean, I have so many varieties of stuff that people always want something, and I think that was and someone had already come and cleaned me out. I had just put all my fractional stuff out on my grammars, and one guy came up and bought it all. So
Hmm.
had I not put that out there, I would have known. But like I said, there was so much I didn't get out there. Then that one big square bar that's in the middle there, that little comb. I don't know
This
if you
guy
can zoom
here.
in on that. Yeah, that's the piece that's sliced off a Comex bar that I got from Long Live Coins. Yeah, so I kind of put that in there just for display. That's actually a physical piece of silver cut off a 5,000 ounce Comex bar, and that was done on, I believe that was the 9th month of 2023, 14.42 ounces, 99 AG, and I think that's um, or that 122. I think that's bar number 122, and that was cut number 9. LLC knows how that works. I forget. I'm pretty sure that's how it is though. But kind of neat. And that hole that's in the middle of it, that's kind of considered an air pocket. So people want those more than just a nice straight clean cut. So I was fortunate to get that. You can see the splatter across the top of it at the bottom of it there.
You mean here?
Yep, right there. Yeah. So that yes, go through there. Then all the splatter marks all along the bottom there. But like I said, I have skulls there. I have bars with airplanes on them. Coke pieces.
This is one of my favorite coins. I've been trying to grab some of if I can get them at the right price.
Yeah,
These are
and
kind
then
of cool.
I had some extra reckless in there. Those rounds that are in capsules, those actually came straight from the U.S. Post Office. They made their own silver line. So if you go to all all the ones with the write-in on them, those are all different timestamps in the Postal Service for when they started using airplanes, when they started using cars, when they started using trains. It's kind of neat, and they're all numbered. So I just got that in a collection.
So I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm gonna go off with. Let's see, do this. Come on. Oh, just cannot get this technology to work today. All right, there we go. Yeah, look at this. It is all over the place. Okay. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on with StreamYard. Anyway, one of the things that I was looking at too, OC, is you create a display and you figure things out. I was learning a few different things. You might want to have a display that has generic coins in it, where everything's a little closer to the same price.
Yes.
You might want to have a nice, really cool item in the middle of that people come over to look at, and then it catches their eye and they start looking at other things too. We got
Absolutely.
949s in the house. Welcome. And
Okay.
what I found is we had such a vast different selection of coins that were there that we had a lot of people just coming to see what we had. And on the one hand, for my personal deep stack, I'm really focusing on just a handful of SKUs. I'm trying to make it a little more simple for myself. And if something happens to me, it's easier for my family to deal with them. But at the same time, if you're considering doing a coin show and selling coins at it, I do think it seemed to help to have a pretty good variety of coins. If you just had Silver Eagles and that was it, there's only one buyer you're looking for. We had such a variety of things that I want to say, we were probably doing a transaction every 3 minutes or so.
Yeah. Great.
And I would have done more transactions, but I had a lot of people asking me about the channel, coming up and making comments. So we had that. Okay, so let me see if we have any comments in here real quick. Azure Blues in the house, welcome. Let's see. Looks like Kenshi's been alive and well in the chat for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, Kenji, that Comex bar alone is $500. So I don't know where you get that number from.
Yeah, I don't know what he's referring to there.
All the silver that's in the case, he said it looks like it's worth $500 if I'm reading it correctly.
Yeah, Kenshi likes to have fun with everybody, so don't take him too serious in
Oh,
here.
I don't. I
He's
don't.
just
I
having with you
don't.
guys.
I know he likes to take his dad's Lamborghini out and wash it and say it's his. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, we're going to congratulate Michael Stacking here for 7 months as a member. If you guys haven't signed up for a membership yet, we do a really cool and informative one-on-one session. It usually goes an hour to an hour and a half once a month. And then you also have access to videos early, and then comes with a cool sticker. And there'll be some other things we'll be doing here in the future as we get things put together. We'll be doing some buying groups where you'll have opportunity to purchase precious metals at a discount, and lower than you're going to find them online.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn around and read the chat behind me, but Ricky's house.
Azure Blue asked here real quick, OC, if we had any platinum eagles. He's looking for specific years.
I have two. One that's slabbed and one that's raw still. My problem with that is I talk to different people, and I'm finding ranges of that stuff where people can't get them. They can't find them as nice as the early ones, like the 2013, 14, 15s. I believe both mine are 2015. And that's the only platinum I have. So I don't really sell it because when I listen to one channel, they say they're $250 over spot. Then I talk to somebody, they say they're below spot. So I can't really get a definite answer. So I just sit on it. I don't want to sell it anyhow. And to answer Ricky's House of Crafts question, I just we put some things in our case just for displays for people to ask about. I would normally sell something like that because I had an avenue to get those, but unfortunately, the gentleman, the company that did that, he passed away just recently, and LLC knows his name. But there was some of his friends and his wife are going to try and pick up the pieces and try to keep it going, but I haven't, because I've inquired about getting some more, but for right now, we're all on hold. So we'll see.
Hey, Seymour, good to have you here. So here's a legit question for you, OC. Do you want to answer that to some degree?
So so when I go to the coin shows, I ask them, do I need to be a dealer? Do I have to have credentials? Do I have to have a business license? The answer to all those questions is no. So how I'm addressing it and putting it out there for people to know is that I am a hobbyist, exchanging between amongst friends, sharing a hobby. And they say they're good with that, and so am I. I mean, there's just so many people doing it. They're not. I think it's almost impossible for them to come in there and crack down on everybody trying to do something.
I agree. And the other thing you run into is some places will write a receipt for you, other places won't. Right? It's kind of depends on the store, depends on the person that's doing it, depends on how large of a business they have. But a lot of trading goes on at these shows as well. So there's a lot of transactions that are going. I always say you got to look at what your state tax laws are, follow those tax laws. So if in your state you have to pay sales tax when you buy something and you're within the parameters for that sales tax, that's something that you have the obligation to pay. But that's up to you to report it. At a show, it's different than buying online. You may be asked to pay it right then, or you might be responsible to pay it later.
Yeah,
but that's an individual choice for you guys to go decide what you're going to do with that.
Yeah, there wasn't a coin dealer there that I had talked to that says they collect tax. So at our booth, we had one guy that, I don't know if you remember him, but he bought over $2,000 worth of stuff from us. And I'm going to say probably 50% of the people did. A lot of people were buying gold, collectible stuff, multiple purchases. So a lot of the people were buying over the $2,000, so that wasn't so much of an issue. But I had one guy that was just insistent that I give him a receipt. And so you had even torn a piece of paper out of your personal journal for me to write him a receipt. And then we tear it out. The guy goes, "No, I want a real receipt." So I literally went to about 9 or 10 or 11 different of my friend dealers and say, "Hey, I got a guy asking for a receipt." And Staples and those places sell those generic receipt books. And so thankfully someone had one of those receipt books and he tore out a page for me. was gracious enough for me to come back. And I said, how do you want me to make it out? What do you want on there? And so I just made him a receipt and told him what he bought, what the date was, and how much he paid for it. So that was
exactly. And then it's the same thing when you're selling, guys. You follow the tax laws too. Okay. So, I'm not going to tell you to evade taxes. I'm not going to tell you not to pay them. What I'm going to tell you is you've got to follow what those rules are, per your state. So, get to know what those rules are, see what's happening. If you happen to be at a place where they're not collecting it, technically you're supposed to be paying that, but that goes to your state. A lot of states do not collect sales tax on precious metals. California does.
Yeah, so I'll tell a quick. You'll remember this story too. So we had a lot of people come both days, either Thursday, Friday or Saturday. So Friday we had a customer there that him and his wife spent a lot of time with us there. Or he did, and then the next day he brought his wife, and he walked in and he was there when the guy was making me go chase the receipt because he was waiting for me to get done with him so I could help him next. The next day he went out, or that night he went out and bought a receipt book and came in the next day and handed me a receipt book to say, here, now you have one for your next person to ask for one. So there was, the people were just very generous, very nice. I had no bad interactions with anybody. Like I said, it was just a fun weekend. We were all enjoying our hobby, chatting about what we care about and, taking care of our families and, helping people get good prices on silver and stacking for their families. So like I said, nothing bad to report that I could say. You and I, we brought a bunch of waters in for all of our, friends, people that came to see us because the show was asking $10 for a bottle of water. We were just giving bottles of water. Hey, if anybody wanted water, we just gave it to them because it was so bloody expensive.
It was like $6.50 for like a bag of chips too. It was out of control.
Well, $18 hot dogs. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it was expensive. And then Kenshi asked, you guys buying at shows? A lot of people are buying and selling at shows. So, it really just depends on what you're looking for and what you're trying to do. A lot of people will bring coins to sell at the show. Know if you're trying to sell and you're not going to get retail price. You're going to be getting, probably fairly close to spot or behind it, at least currently. So, a coin show is not a place to go to try to get your best price for selling. It's a decent place to go to get a good price when you're a vendor and you're selling from a booth. You don't have all the fees per transaction. However, you do have a booth fee. So, if you're going to do it, you really need to be there the full days. You need to have a good variety of products so that, people can buy from you.
Yeah. Ricky's House of Craft. You're right. Jim Forsyth. That's right. I named escaping there for a minute. So yeah, just
Kenshi has all the questions. I'm gonna ask this I'm gonna answer this last one for him too. There were a lot of kids. I actually had some Lego boxes, and I think we sold 6 Lego boxes to kids. Nothing to do with coins, but there were kids there and they were looking for things. I would say we probably had 50 to 100 kids that came to our booth. I'll show you guys another picture here in just a second.
Do you have a picture? So we had a jar of candy that we ran out of candy. I probably had at least a dozen, if not more, free brand new coin books that one of my customers' brother passed away that was a coin collector. And he asked me what to do with them. I said, well, when I get this kind of stuff, I put my name and phone number on there, and I give away the coin books to any of the kids that come up with their parents. And then we took one of Sean's precious metals cigar boxes, filled up full of a bunch of coins, foreign coins or all kinds of different coins from different eras that we gave away to the kids. So a lot of dealers do that for a lot of kids. They'll have a jar or a treasure chest or something where they get something free. And Sufer had his stickers there they gave to the kids. So a lot of kids and a lot of 25, 30-year-olds. I had a guy that came to my booth and chatted with me. It was his first time at a coin show and had never bought silver before. By the time he left, remember Sufer, we sold him. You had those Christmas rounds you were selling. You were blowing out for $30, and you had 7 of them. And he bought 6 of them. I said, "Are you gonna leave me here with one more?" So his friend bought the other one. So, it's fun doing that stuff. We're giving them a sweet deal. I think it was like 50 cents over the spot. The guy got his feet wet getting coins from us, and he took down we had cards there that had your QR code information with Twitter, YouTube, your email, I think it was. A lot of people scan that, so we've heard from these people after the show. Like I said, it was. I can't say anything bad, brother. It was all fun, and
So let's see if do you guys see this one?
hey, you notice one of those you notice that one of those bars is missing because remember I sold it.
Did you sell that one?
Yeah, the
I hope
10-ounce bars.
I hope you gave me the money for that.
Oh no, it went straight in my pocket. It went straight to the college fund.
I'm just kidding. So one thing I want to point out that was kind of fun is I'm kind of a Star Wars fan, even though Disney's completely destroyed the franchise, and tried to make it too politically correct and all kinds of other stuff. But they've just gone away from like the original, story of it. I'm really kind of a first 3 movie guy. I did like the Mandalorian TV show, was all right. But anyway, this was kind of a fun display. So another thing that I would kind of point out that can be cool to do if you end up doing a coin show is have a fun display for people to look at. Yeah. Half the stuff in this display is not for sale, but people liked it. I had this is a lightsaber that I picked up at Disneyland. It's all metal. It has the little crystal in it. And I almost sold this thing 4 times to people. They wanted to buy this, and it had the lightsaber light part that comes and you attach to it. So we would light that up a little bit for fun. This is kind of my personal collection that is some stuff that I really enjoy and I like. And so this is kind of the spend your money on way too much of expensive stuff. I try not to do very much of that. But everything is always for sale. So if we find the right person, it's for sale. I had one of these Beskar bars. Someone bought that. We had a person buy one of these graded Death Star coins up here. Yep. That was a PF. It was one of these Death Star 2. It was a PF 68, which I sold and gave him a good price on it. I set these in for grading, and sometimes you win, and sometimes you don't. So that 68 really had no additional value with it being graded, besides it coming with a nice case there. But these 70s can go for a pretty penny. And a lot of this is going to be stuff that you're probably not going to sell at a show. You're going to sell more like on eBay. But it was a nice display case that got a lot of attention. This little 300-gram Death Star got a ton of attention. Everybody wanted to know about that. And we're all hoping it was like $100 to buy.
So everybody wanted to hold it. So we told them, if you want to give us $800 and you want to hold it, no problem.
Yeah, there you go. But each of these, these can be a little pricey on things, but they're fun. These coins are pretty generic here in the middle. But, I think it's fun to have a handful of those things that people will end up enjoying and be able to, have fun with it.
So Seymour Rivers had a question. Do the kids carry money? To answer that question, Seymour Rivers, I had a gentleman, a young man, I'm going to say he was probably 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. And I had a jar of 20 ounces of silver shot for pouring. And he pulled out $650 and wanted to buy that shot for me. But he was such a nice kid. I sent him down to where I got mine from. My supplier just happened to be there, and I knew that he was $75 cheaper. So I sent him down to my supplier and told him to mention my name and to get it $75 cheaper. So to answer your question, there are kids there that, yes, they are into coin collecting and they do know their stuff. They're sometimes on some issues know more than I do about that stuff. So, and the one kids that are too young, that were their parents that were getting pulled around in wagons. If the kids saw something on a coin, like the surfer had Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck or whatever, the parents peeled off, $20 and $50 bills, and they bought those for their kids. So to answer your question, yeah, we're happy to see them because the parents will get it for them, so the kids will be quiet so that they can look at it in peace.
That's for sure. And then Azure Blue's telling us he has a bunch of Star Wars stuff. We need to be better friends, Azure.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Send him a link.
Down the road. We did have Libertads, and we did have those. We sold Libertads at what, 34, 36 a coin, something like that.
We were doing, Thursday we were doing 38, and then we took the smack around on Friday when the market decided to drop $2 in silver and $80 in gold. So that didn't really help us out that much. But I stuck to my guns on my pricing. I gave a little bit off, but you know, um, you can't take a beat. But we were fortunate enough, Surfer, that we had so many people selling to us. I mean, we literally needed 2 people selling and 1 person buying the whole time. So
Yeah.
uh,
If I were to, when we do another one of these kinds of shows, there's different things I would do. So let's talk about that for a little bit too. I I'm kind of thinking it's helpful to have set prices in cases or sections within a case to make it easier. You can put little stickers on the back of everything for the pricing, but a good chunk of this stuff we didn't have all the pricing for it, and some of it we had to figure out pricing as we were going. Other things, uh, we had to kind of adjust because the pricing had changed a little bit. But overall, I really loud, honey. I got an burger delivered, and then my wife ate half of it in front of me. Anyway,
actually, you know what we should do? We should actually shout out Tangible Investments for.
Oh yeah, we should totally do that. So Tangible Investments, Mike and Sil over there were great at helping us. We shared a booth with them. And not only do they have a great location, but they're great guys. We've done quite a bit of stuff with them, a lot of conversations, a few videos. Hopefully we'll do, more things with them as well. But if you guys haven't checked out my videos on Tangible Investments, you should go check them out. They do a lot of pre-33 and more collectible coins. And they have helped a lot of people make a lot of money off of their coin collection, as well as helping people know whether they should get something graded and then getting it graded. Sil was involved in the very first grading set for PCGS, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so to have someone like that we could, if someone brought us a coin and said, hey, should I grade this pre-33 coin? We were able to just send them over to Sil, and he could kind of evaluate that for him. But so I love that. But going back to the question real quick, or the thought on what would I do differently? We were busy enough. We could have had 2 to 3 people selling coins and 1 person buying. Yeah. And then we could probably even have a 5th person, taking videos and going out and meeting with the other vendors. I seriously had no time to talk to another vendor unless they came to me. I didn't get a single video or interview during the whole show because I just did not have the time to do it. We were busy the whole time. We had, I would say, 15 to 20 people standing around the cases at all times. And that's just too many people for me to be comfortable not having my eyes on it.
Yeah. So to let people know, we call him Sil. His real name is Silvano. So
yes, Silvano.
He is the owner of Tangible Investments. And like I said, they could have been nicer. I went, in fact, I went to my jeweler that's helping me do with my osmium that I'm having built, and I'm at my jeweler's, and my jeweler hands me 3 coins pre-33, and he wants to get rid of them. So I just told him, hey, I happen to be going down to Tangible Investments. I'll have him take a look at them. So none of the coins were worth grading, but he told me what they were. MS 61, 62. 1 coin was an MS 63, but it was a $5 gold piece. It cost you $40 to get it graded, but it only gives you a $25 bump in the price of it. And people are going to grind you on the price anyhow when you have coins for sale. So he said it wasn't worth grading any of them. So, but it's nice as people appreciate the honest answer and saves you time and 8 to 10 weeks waiting for your coin to get back. So now he can just sell it raw and move on. So
I agree. So you got to know your stuff. You got to have your support and help to that. A lot of time people send a lot of coins in to get graded, and they're not the right coins to send it. You just don't get your value out of it. It can be really hard to determine if it's going to come in as a 70 or a 69 if it's a newer coin, a modern coin. Those are the ones that I think are probably the riskiest to deal with. If you get a 68 like I did on the Death Star, and I didn't even see those. I ordered them directly from a kind of a middleman that sent them in. I broke even on that coin. So I didn't lose money on it, which is good. But, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Welcome to Elle and Amy. Thanks for coming. And Gerald Draper as well. And Jeff Tooley, Angels, Tiger Thomas. Some of you guys named Beto. And who else we got in here now that joined recently? I think we're caught up there. But you guys hit that thumbs up if you haven't. Also, if someone could put OC Stackers, oh good, Elle did, OC Stackers channel link there too. One of these days, I'm going to get him to put some videos out. So do subscribe to him. There will be some things that come out as well. See Azure Blue. He's going to go play some pickleball. That sounds fun. But you know, I had a fun time at the show. It was one that kept me super, super busy. You know, I made enough money to make it worth my time to go. I wasn't expecting to make crazy amounts of money. I probably spent 70% of my time talking to people instead of selling. My main goal was not to sell. It was to take some videos and, you know, move a couple of my coins that had higher premiums on them. Things that had like, you know, $50 to $100 premium over spot. And I sold actually quite a lot of them. But my main goal was just to kind of hang out and check it out. And I ended up being so busy the whole time. Never even got a filming in, which is crazy.
Yeah. So Mr. What's his name here? Hang on a second. I got it saved here. And Marsh, he was asking if they're grading coins there. We were very fortunate because of Silvano's connection with PCGS that Silvano's whole square area is directly next to PCGS, and PCGS has their own security guard sitting right there. So we were fortunate enough to be up front, right next to PCGS, where everybody stands in line, and have a security guard within 5 feet of our booth the entire show time. So, like I said, we had a lot to be thankful for this past week or 2 weeks ago at Long Beach, where everything just went to our favor. But yes, PCGS was there all weekend long. Very rarely was there not a line, people standing in the line to fill out paperwork. They had about, I don't know what, 5, 8, 10 people there helping people out how to do things. And then once it got done, they put them in front of a grader. They took pictures and documented what you turned in. So it was a very well organized, well-oiled machine that was working over there. So never a crowd, never backed up, never kind of crazy over there. So to answer your question, yes, there was a BCGS there all weekend long.
Which I thought was pretty cool. And we were right by them. So one of the reasons we were so busy, you know, I'd give a couple reasons. One, we had probably the most eclectic collection that was there of fun coins to look at. Okay. A lot of people will have a ton of Morgan dollars and they'll have a lot of different dates and grades. But we had a lot of coins that were really fun for people to look at that they've never seen before. So we had that, but it was also our location. So with Tangible Investments letting us connect from there, that really put us in a good position. So it was worth it. And, you know, we had a booth fee that we paid and we were happy to do that. It worked out really well for us. You know, the thing that I would do differently for sure is have more people there that you trust that can help you. And if you're going to do a booth, you got to make sure you trust the people you're working with that are there with you. You've got, you know, a lot of money that's sitting out there, cash that you're dealing with, coins you're dealing with. You know, most people are honest, but every once in a while you get someone that's in there that's trying to look for a quick, you know, switch. So I'm going to take 2 more last questions and then we're going to close down the show here in a second. But one that I saw up here real fast. Networking. Networking has huge value, especially if you have a YouTube channel. So I probably gained about 30 or 40 subscribers, or I don't even know what you call it on Instagram, followers on Instagram. And then I think I gained maybe 10 or 20 new subscribers on YouTube, which can be pretty fun. Oh, Joseph Lopez, that's what it was here. I've never sold on Facebook Marketplace. It's not something I've ever bought from either. I see that there's a lot of silver on there. I know OC's done a little bit of it. You know, my biggest thing, if you're selling on there, if you're selling to anybody you don't know, I would go to a police station or a coin store to do the transaction. If you're going to a coin store, call them ahead of time and make sure they're okay with you doing the transaction in the store. If you're going to a police station, call them ahead of time and see if they have like a room that people can do transactions in. A lot of times that is the case, but
that's what I do. I meet people at my local store.
It can be safe. It's not, I don't be discouraged from doing it, but you need to take precautions. I would only take cash, by the way. I wouldn't be taking checks. Let's see if we had any other quick ones.
Let's see more Rivers question up there. I want to address that.
How do a couple of newbies like you get the best table? Is that the question or not?
Yeah, let's put that one up because that's you just addressed it. It's our networking. It's I met Silvano at the first Long Beach show I did, and I forget what the scenario was, but I ended up taking him some lunch. I brought him some waters. I had some customers with some coins. I had a question on coins. He stopped what he was doing and helped me the whole time. Got to know me. I saw him at this next show. We said hello to each other, and then we were invited down when Sufer got to do interview with Mike and got to see Silvano again. He recognized me, shook my hand, said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, we're doing great." Then we went down there again. I took a bunch of my coins down there for them to look at to see if they're worth grading. He sat down with me for over an hour, went over all my collections by himself. Out of probably 50, 60 coins I had there, we sent out 6 of them that were worth grading that I collected as a kid when I was 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. They've been sitting in a box for 50 years. So to answer your question, a couple of newbies like us got to know the right people, also the right people that looked out for us, people that cared about us and we cared about them. We made sure that we all walked in and out with each other. We just had a mutual respect for each other and, you know, how grown adults act and behave. And if you treat people with respect, it's amazing how people will respond back. And it went on both parties, both ways. They respected what we did. They know that it's not what they do, and vice versa. But we had so many people come to us that had so many questions about coins. And it was a pleasure to walk them over there and walk them and introduce them to Silvano, who was well regarded in the coin collecting community as far as his grading skills and his abilities. So,
and to go back on that too here, you know, I met Mike from OC Stacker introducing me to the company. I don't know if you knew Mike at the time, and then I did a quick interview. That was almost I don't know. I think that was in the fall at the Long Beach Coin Show in the fall. Did a great video with Mike. We had fun. We had a lot of good responses from it. And so then we did another video at their office, and I'm hoping to do a few more videos. So, you know, with some of these, it's you help someone else out, they help you out, you know, you help promote them and things like that. So you never know where things are going to go. I think networking is one of the most important things you can do in business. Last question I'm going to take right here, and then we're going to close down here. Is can you take your own security? Yeah. That's probably one of the most secure places you could go to.
Yeah, Long Beach is one show I wouldn't worry about. Arcadia and Buena Park and Anaheim, they have I've gotten to know those security guards as well too. There's at least a half a dozen there at their shows. 1 or 2 always walking inside, and at least 1 or 2 outside. So not so much. And if you're worried about it, you can ask to be escorted out. I have on several occasions where I had stuff where I was uncomfortable and I was by myself. So, and they will gladly do it for you. Well, at least they did it for me. But here again, I befriended them. If they came by and needed a water or a granola bar, I always handed them out. You know, it takes such a little act of kindness to see positive results going down in the future as we do this. So, but like I said, right now everything's positive.
I agree. So you guys, I had fun with it. If you've got any other questions, feel free to send me an email. If you guys want to do another live stream on this with Q&A, let me know down the road. We'll get OC's screen working and stuff so that you can see some more things while we're doing that. But anyway, I enjoyed it. It's something I want to do again. And a lot of it's the community part of it, guys. Like I could make more money doing other stuff. You know, you can move a lot of metals, you can make some money from it, but I've got other ways of making more if I spend my time in that direction. But I'm also building a business, I'm networking. So overall, that really helps. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you, OC, for jumping on. And until next time, peace out.
Take care.